TakeOver Dallas is still a long way away, but we know one thing for sure tonight, don't we, guys? We know this time, for sure, we are going to find the #1 contender to the NXT Championship. Right?
There's gonna be a fight tonight!
What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your February 17th NXT review. I'm tired, lots of work. I think it's November, and I forgot that it was NXT for a second. But, cool show, lots of wrestling, not a lot of talking, and the talking segments that there were didn't really matter, so I'm going to kind of glaze over them and focus on the matches. We started off, speaking of great matches, with an all-star 8-man tag team match. Enzo and Cass teamed up with the American Alpha to take on Blake and Murphy and Dash and Dawson, two teams that I don't really give a shit about, but look at the babyface team. Two of the most entertaining teams, hell, 4 of the most entertaining guys that WWE/NXT has right now. So it's gonna be good, isn't it? Gable and Dawson start collar and elbow tie-up twice. Armbar by Gable, chain wrestling sequence, takes it into a collar and elbow tie-up, and all 8 men storm the ring and brawl. A couple of seconds into the match, faces stand tall quickly, heels recollect themselves, come back in, and all 4 of them get tossed out again as we go to the NXT weird little tiny commercial break thing. Blake is riding a headlock on Gable when we come back from that. Vertical by Blake, countered into a roll-up by Gable, up into the vertical, rolls back down into an attempt at a pinfall, which obviously does not get the win because I keep going. 2 knockdowns and a leg drop by Dawson. Double team knee by Dash and Dawson. Mudhole stomp by Murphy. Stomps by Blake. Boot by Dawson. There you go. Boot by Dawson and a clothesline and a slam. Double leg drop by Dash and Dawson. A lot of tandem offense by these guys who are pretty damn basic, but when they do tandem offense, it does look really good. Dash rides a headlock and both men crack heads in the center of the ring. Hot tag to Jordan, who's got drop kicks and throws and slams for everybody. Black hole slam by Cass. Overhead release belly to belly by Jordan is fucking pretty. Corner spear by Jordan on Dash. Back suplex by the American Alpha. Air Enzo by Enzo and Cass. And obviously the babyfaces get the win. If this had been a Fatal 4-Way, it would have been cool. If this is a Fatal 4-Way going into TakeOver Dallas, which isn't for another month and a half, I wouldn't mind it whatsoever. I don't think it is. I've read the spoilers. I don't think this is the match we're getting, but whatever. Now, the next match we have is Deonna Purrazzo, and I'm only assuming that I'm pronouncing that properly, versus Asuka. She has an interview segment in the back with JoJo talking about how last time she got squashed by Asuka, because that's what she's there for, kind of, not to be a dick. She's learned a lot, and she's going to take it in, and she's going to show everybody that she means business and all that kind of thing. She basically gets made fun of by Emma and Dana Brooke, and it's like, you know, basically, if we couldn't do it, what makes you think you could, but how arrogant are you thinking that you could succeed where we failed? We run this place, roddy rod. They pat the interviewer on the head and they go off and it's their thing. And the thing is, Emma as a heel is awesome. Emma and Alexa Bliss are 2 of the best heels, let alone in NXT, but in WWE entirely. Dana Brooke, when she's cutting a heel promo, it sounds so forced, and it's such a turn off, and I don't mean a turn off as in, oh my god, she's a bad person. It's a turn off as in, I don't want to listen to it anymore. There's a very big difference. Anyways, Deonna Purrazzo versus Asuka is a squash, but let me tell you about this squash. Stiff kicks by Asuka. The kicks don't stop even when Deonna Purrazzo falls on her ass. She's sitting in the ring. She's still getting kicked in the chest. It's good. Flying scissor into an ankle lock by Asuka. It's cool. It's one of those things, you know, when RVD does the handspring and grabs your opponent's body with the legs and rolls him up. Well, she kind of does that, except she finishes it off into an ankle lock, which is a really cool thing. Crossbody by Deonna, and a slap and a forearm and another slap, and it's just one of those moments where, oh my god, I can't believe she slapped her. You know, you got the Asuka's gonna kill you chant. You got the crazy look on Asuka's face, which is great. Second rope crossbody, knee to the gut by Asuka, ankle lock by Asuka again, transfers into a German suplex, transfers into an armbar. lets her up from there. She gets up somehow from the armbar. 3 spinning back fists in a row that look like they should have done the job. And a not so great looking spin kick gets the win for Asuka. If she had knocked her down with just these 3 spinning back fists, similar to what AJ Styles does, if you're not somebody that watches NXT all the time, but then again, if you're somebody that doesn't watch NXT all the time, you wouldn't be watching this review right now. The spinning back fists that Asuka did were fucking killer. The kick afterwards kind of made you go, I really hope she doesn't win with that. But she did. That's a little tiny nitpick on my part. Doesn't change the fact this was a great match. It was a squash. Deonna Purrazzo went in there, did the job as an enhancement talent, you know, because she wasn't a jobber, because she did a couple nice things. But the match did what it was supposed to do. It boosted up Asuka. We know what Asuka's doing next. It's written on the wall. But she looked good in this match. She didn't use the Asuka lock. She didn't use one of her, you know, I guess top shelf finishers, because it's not a top shelf match type situation. No offense to Miss Purrazzo there. We get a video package on what happened last week after the women's championship match. And it's announced for next week that Bayley and Carmella are going to take on Nia Jax and Eva Marie. Next week, I would be lying to you if I said I was looking forward to that match. Not gonna lie. Surprisingly good was Ty Dillinger versus Alex Riley. We've seen Alex Riley come back not too long ago, beat the hell out of Bull Dempsey. Bull Dempsey recently got released from NXT, along with Sylvester Lafort, Marcus Louis, and a couple of other people. So the last thing he did on NXT was lose to Alex Riley. But Alex Riley is this, you know, pissed off anti-establishment, you know, why does everybody get hyped but me? Corey Graves is just sitting there the entire time, making fun of him because he looks like he hasn't shaved in a while. You know, he's working on a little bit of a heel beard, all that kind of thing. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Alex Riley is incredibly... I'm not going to say he's the next John Cena, the next Rock, the next Austin, whatever, but he is incredibly underutilized on NXT. What he's doing right now, I compare him to Emma in this way, where he was kind of a goofball on the main roster. Emma was kind of a goofball on the main roster. They came back to NXT, they became assholes, and it's like, why couldn't they just do this on the main roster? I'm just saying, I don't want to be one of those guys that says NXT is better than WWE, like they're 2 separate companies, like somebody else I could mention. But this is one of those situations where it really is kind of true. So for those people that do say that, here's one example where it is true. I like pissed off heel Alex Riley. It's good. But collar and elbow tie up and a headlock by Dillinger, and Riley works on the arm immediately. Counter reversal sequence and a snap mirror by Dillinger, side headlock by Dillinger, clothesline by Riley. And the clothesline is stiff. Everything that Riley does in this match, it's sort of fundamental. There's nothing really wild and out there, but everything he does is with purpose, and it's stiff, and it's snug, and it's tight, and he does such a good job physically in this match of, like, all the emotion, all the pissed offness, all the frustration is exerted physically in his performance in the match. Even though it's against Ty Dillinger, who's kind of a goofball, you can't really come up with a reason why this match is super, super important, but he looks pissed off, and he fights like he's pissed off, and that's good. Corner chop and a one-punch knockdown by Riley, and a headlock. Arm drag, chops in a Thez press, and punches by Dillinger, all in succession. Atomic drop by the atomic drop is really a goofy move, isn't it? I mean, it's supposed to have the same comedic value as a low blow, but really you're just making somebody sit on your knee. And unless you're Santa Claus and your opponent is 5 years old, and that metaphor just went really creepy really fast. But don't... Hard as fuck. One punch knockdown right hand by Riley, but a quick roll up by Dillinger, who plays a little bit of possum, gets him the win. I don't mind this, because they played it up like Dillinger squeaked out the victory, and Alex Riley looks as pissed off as he should be about it. This could go on next week. If we do something with Riley later on down the line, that would be really, really great. Finn Balor is backstage giving his props to Apollo Crews, the match they had 2 weeks ago. Basically, I'm the champion. I'm looking forward to watching this #1 contenders match later tonight between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. Pretty cookie cutter backstage babyface champion promo. Baron Corbin and William Regal have another face-to-face in Regal's office, demanding that he be inserted into the match. If you're restarting the match, you should restart it with me in it because I was in it last time. And he says, you know, I know you're disappointed, whatever, rah-de-rah-de-rah. But basically, you're not in it. Suck it up, princess, type thing. He says, payback's a bitch, especially when I've been robbed. Now, when you know from the spoilers and whatnot, the announcement that William Regal is going to make next week, that some of us know about and some of us don't. It's one of the worst kept secrets on the dirt sheets right now, and you know how Baron Corbin fits into that equation. This is actually setting a seed for that. This actually gives that a reason, which is really, really good. American Alpha are going to take on Blake and Murphy next week. American Alpha are great, and you couldn't pay me to give a fuck about Blake and Murphy. So I'm really hoping the Alpha go over. Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn for the #1 contendership to the NXT Championship. Joe tries and misses a cheap shot kick to start the match. Collar and elbow types. Sami Zayn works the arm. Joe counters and works on Sami's arm. Key lock by Joe, working the arm, and some elbow strikes. Collar and elbow. There's a lot of elbows in this match. Let me just say that right off the bat. Collar and elbow tie-up, side headlock by Joe, deep arm drag by Sami, and a standing arm bar. Side headlock by Joe, and Sami dumps Joe out of the ring as we go to little tiny minuscule NXT commercial break. Kicks and elbows in the corner by Joe and an arm drag by Sami. Uranagi out of the corner by Joe and hits him with a boot. Elbows to the top of the head by Joe while Sami Zayn is prone on the mat. You know, you got a lot of technical wrestling, and then you just got, boom, straight elbow to the top of your head. Both men trade punches, forearms, chops, and there's a sweep by Joe that looks dirty in the way it's executed and in the way Sami Zayn sells it. Snap vertical suplex by Joe, and a kick to the face. Oh, yes. Jabs and body blows and elbows by Joe, rolling clotheslines by Sami, and a Blue Thunder Bomb on the third attempt. This is important. For somebody, when people used to shit on me for saying that Daniel Bryan didn't sell the size of his opponent, didn't sell the beating that he was getting, something like this. Sami Zayn has already taken a beating, especially to the head, neck, and shoulder area. Now, to pull off the Blue Thunder Bomb in general, you need those parts of your body, or your torso, your core strength in general, to be intact. He's trying to do it on somebody who's as significantly bigger than him as Samoa Joe is. He tries once. He fails once. He tries twice. He tries twice. I can speak, I swear. Fails twice. Tries a third time. Gets it off, gets the Blue Thunder Bomb off, but in a way that looks like he just barely got it. That is good. When I said in my Daniel Bryan commentary, you know, the whole we need a new underdog, this is the next guy. This is the Sami Zayn that I want to see take up that mantle on the main roster. These are the little things that Sami Zayn does that make me 100% behind his character, and these are some of the things that we're lacking with Daniel Bryan. I'm just saying. Now I've lost my place. Doesn't that suck? Rolling clotheslines by Sami, the Blue Thunder Bomb after the third attempt, atomic drop boot and a running senton by Joe. Kicks and punches to the face by Joe. Koji clutch by friggin' Sami Zayn. Fails. Snap slam by Joe. Jabs by Joe and forearms by Sami. Irish whip and a corner enziguri by Joe. Exploder suplex into the corner by Sami is always good because it never looks pretty. It always looks like it's been botched a little bit, and I know that that's by design, but that's good. There are matches where I've said in videos before, if you botch a move and it doesn't exactly look pretty, sometimes that's okay, because it makes the move look more painful, it makes it look a little bit more reckless, which, if done properly, can add to the match. That's what Sami Zayn does when he does that exploder into the corner, because it always looks awkward. Awkward equals painful equals effective. That's why that works. Kakita clutch by Joe, but it's broken because when he locks it in and locks the body grapevine in, he falls into the corner, which means the referee has to make him break it. Muscle Buster fails. Haluva kick succeeds, but Sami Zayn, after hitting the Haluva kick, is so exhausted that he basically falls over Joe. So here's Joe. Here's Sami laying over Joe. Both of their shoulders are down when the referee makes the 3 count, and we've got a double pin. And William Regal comes down to get the official decision from the referee, which is a draw. For reasons. This match was infinitely better than the triple threat match that included Baron Corbin. For those of you that know what Baron Corbin is doing next, like me and like anybody else who's been reading the dirt sheets, he'll be fine. These two need to have one more match. I wish there was a takeover before TakeOver Dallas, because we know who's going on to face Finn Balor at TakeOver Dallas. We know how we need to get there, but the match between these guys that gets them to there deserves to be on a... This match deserves to be on a TakeOver by itself, without a title involved. Just have these guys go one more round, before one of them goes off to get the title. Again, we know who it's going to be, but whatever. Look at Fastlane this Sunday. We've got 3 guys fighting in the main event to be the #1 contender. You could have a takeover. I mean, if we had more time to play around, you could have a takeover where Joe versus Zayn is the main event. They go on to the next takeover to face Finn Balor, but we don't have that kind of time, and we don't have a pay-per-view in between. Match was great. The fact that we've got a no contest again is a little, it irks me a little. Doesn't take away from the fact that it was a fantastic match. Alex Riley looked good tonight. Asuka had a squash match, but it was good. And the 8-person all-star tag team match, as I'm calling it, to start off the show was pretty great. Like I say, the talking segments in the back were pretty cookie cutter, pretty by the book, and nothing stellar, but they were kept short, sweet, and to the point, and allowed us more wrestling. This was a good show, guys. Please let me know what you think down in the box below. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.